Boruto Chapter 80 pretty much confirms the Boruto timeskip for Boruto Chapter 81. Sarada has awakened the Mangekyō Sharingan. I will explain why this is the purest Mangekyo of the entire Uchiha clan. And I also talk about why Kawaki's lie will be exposed pretty quickly and what that means for the Boruto series. It's possible that people will believe that Sasuke is the culprit behind everything and was working with Boruto to kill Naruto, because of his past. And much more. Let's talk about the new Boruto manga chapter. If you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. Please enjoy this video. Let's go! There are a lot of new developments. First of all, it looks like my prediction about the way Ada will feel about this whole thing, especially in regard to Kawaki, might be true. In the last review, I told you that it's very likely that Ada will start to dislike Kawaki's personality simply because she will realize that he's not such a good person and doesn't really care about her, but only about his own goals. So far, she just had a crush, but a crush either develops into love or fades away. In this case, I just can't imagine Ada ever falling in love with someone so selfish, even though his intention is actually, even if morally questionable, somewhat understandable. Ada will realize pretty quickly that Kawaki will keep using her for his own goals, and will probably start demanding more and more from her, but eventually her attitude towards him will change, and consequently she won't be able to fulfill his desire anymore. This could even already be the case. What I mean by this is that before this whole reality change happened, she really wanted to make him happy, so she could unconsciously use her god power to be able to change reality. But now it's likely that she no longer sees Kawaki in the same way, which could limit her ability. Last time I explained to you that I think this is the only way to stop Kawaki from using this overpowered ability over and over again, or that she leaves Konoha with Boruto, which could also be possible due to the new chapter. It is just literally the most powerful ability there is. That's also been confirmed. It's the strongest Shinjutsu. So of course it has to be limited, and now it actually looks like my prediction has been confirmed in that regard. Either she leaves Konoha or she stops loving Kawaki. We see Ada quite shocked at what happened. She even asked Kawaki if he had to go that far. It's clear that she doesn't like all this at all. When Shikamaru asks her if she is sure that Boruto was the one who killed Naruto, simply because it is a fact that reality, even if everyone believes in this lie, makes it seem like something could be wrong, because the memories of physical things do not match this altered reality, as I have predicted last time. The situation along with physical things has left many clues that could cast doubt on the whole story. The main reason for this doubt is that Boruto became Kawaki, and Kawaki, to put it simply, loves Naruto like his own father. He would never have killed him, it doesn't make any sense, so people obviously have certain doubts. That just doesn't fit his behavior at all. His goal was always Boruto, so why would he suddenly want to kill Naruto? And that's just the beginning. There are many more things that will expose Kawaki's lie. More about that in a moment. Let me talk a little bit more about Ada first. Before Ada could answer Shikamaru's question, Kawaki grabs Ada quite strongly, whereupon she answers with yes. There's no way she's going to like his behavior. He's literally abusive. From a manga creator's point of view, this scene would not have had to be drawn this way if Ada was completely loyal to Kawaki and supported his every decision. This scene only makes sense if Ada actually considered telling everyone the truth, simply because Ada is not evil. Yes, she has a crush that has caused her to change reality in such a way, but that doesn't mean she wanted it. And even if she had told the truth, no one will believe her. She is less to be trusted than Kawaki or now Boruto, who is considered an outsider. After all, Boruto, who is believed to be Kawaki, spent a few months in Konoha and was considered something like Naruto's stepson. But Ada is a complete stranger who is assumed to have a crush on Boruto. Boruto's Kawaki. So she can't say that Kawaki, that is Naruto's son, killed his own father. Everyone will immediately think she's trying to protect Boruto because she loves him. So she knows that she has no other choice. But that doesn't mean she supports this whole thing. Ada even went to Boruto and apologized for everything. At the moment, it's not really clear if Ada will return to Konoha or decide to escape together with Boruto. The second thing I want to talk about is Sarada's Mangekyō Sharingan. After Shikamaru publicly announced that Boruto killed Naruto, Sarada breaks down completely confused. This is because both she and Sumire are unaffected by this ability, as we all already suspected, probably because they inherited certain Otsutsuki genes. Although I'm a bit confused as to why then Sasuke is affected. The only gene Sarada could have received directly from the Otsutsuki bloodline in this regard will then have to come from Sasuke. But he is affected by this ability although he is even the reincarnation of Indra. Very strange. It would be interesting to see if Sakura is affected. If not, then we need to look for the reason for this immunity in her DNA. But let's wait for more confirmation first. After Sasuke finds Sarada, she tells him that Mitsuki wants to kill Boruto. Sarada starts crying and desperately tries to convince Sasuke that Boruto is not the bad guy, and he was not the one who killed Naruto. Sasuke is confused and still believes the lie, but then Sarada awoke her Mangekyo Sharingan and asks again, "Dad, please help Boruto." She describes this as her last selfish wish, which could be a hint that from now on she will do everything she can to become stronger, so she doesn't have to rely on her father anymore and can handle things on her own. In other words, to be able to save Boruto on her own. Maybe that's even the reason for her awakening, as she believes she's responsible for why all this is happening to Boruto. If she was stronger, this wouldn't have happened, or she could protect him now. Along with the fact that all this is basically a symbolic death, since no one remembers the real Boruto. It could be the typical, "I'm responsible for the death of the most important person in my life." That is known to be the reason for the Mangekyo awakening, but more on that in a moment. And so Sasuke suddenly changed his mind. Now there are two things to talk about. First of all, what is the reason why Sasuke suddenly changed his mind? It's not just the fact that it's his daughter who asked him. He clearly didn't listen to her request at first. He changed his mind only when she awoke her Mangekyo Sharingan. And the second thing is, how did she activate it in the first place? Let's start with the first point. There are really only two possibilities why Sasuke could have suddenly changed his mind. We know that each Uchiha Mangekyo is different, mainly because each Uchiha has one or two unique abilities. So it's possible that Sarada's ability has something to do with why Sasuke began to believe her. It's definitely possible, especially because the Uchiha clan is naturally talented with genjutsu. And all this mind manipulation that Ada did is more or less the same, but in the form of Shinjutsu. So it could very well be that Sarada can do something similar with her Mangekyo, just not as powerful. Another very likely possibility is simply that Sasuke himself is an Uchiha and knows that you can't activate a Mangekyo Sharingan just by crying or suffering a bit. He himself spent the worst childhood imaginable, and none of it has enabled him to awaken his Mangekyo. It needs a certain condition, a very important person. The fact that he saw Sarada awaken her Mangekyo in connection with Boruto, together with her statement that Boruto is innocent, could have been the trigger that made him think that something can't be right, and Boruto must be that important person in her life. Remember again what I told you last time, although reality has changed in people's minds, the physical evidence is everywhere. And the Mangekyo awakening is not possible if Boruto is simply an unimportant outsider that appeared a few months ago. This is also the second point I wanted to talk about. How did she awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan? Everything we know about the awakening is based on what the Uchiha clan believed about this power and how to awaken it. The general idea is that it can be awakened through a trauma suffered when witnessing the death of someone close to the user. Here, however, it can't just be a friend, but must be someone much more important. By the way, this could confirm that Sarada could be in love with Boruto. The last time something like this happened was with Obito and Rin. However, the Uchiha clan has always misunderstood this condition and believed that the user must be responsible for the death of the person, no matter if active or passive. For example, when Obito saw Kakashi, who used his Sharingan, kill Rin. It's definitely a fact that it works this way, there's no doubt about that. But it's not the only way it seems, as Sarada managed to awaken her Mangekyo in a completely different way. Although symbolically we can assume that Boruto has basically died since everyone can no longer remember him. And Sarada might feel responsible because she's too weak. That's why Kishimoto felt the need to draw the moment when Sarada was protected by Boruto and then received the scar. I can definitely see this possibility as the reason for her awakening. Nevertheless, her awakening is different because she had nothing to do with this situation. You could say she awakened her ability with pure love. That is also why we'll call it the purest Mangekyō Sharingan. So the point is that Sasuke knows that you can't activate the Mangekyō Sharingan unless a very important person is involved. That's why Boruto can't just be an outsider. Sasuke then quickly rescues Boruto and takes him away, literally in front of everyone. They all see how Sasuke basically betrayed the village by saving the outsider. This will cause a lot of confusion and be among the physical evidence that could make some question reality. But I can imagine that some people will say things like, oh, Sasuke has never changed, he's always been like that. He was just pretending to be good and waiting for the right moment to kill Naruto. He's in charge of everything, working together with Boruto. It was all a big plan. You know, because of what happened many years ago. But there will be much more physical evidence. For example, all the TV recordings of Boruto's interviews and all the documents that mention Boruto long before Kawaki ever came to the village. Pictures in Naruto's house and so on and so forth. All this will eventually destroy the illusion or rather make them understand that something is wrong. Of course, Kawaki will do everything he can to quickly destroy all the evidence, but he can't erase everything that proves that Boruto is Naruto's son. However, I can also imagine that the opinion about the situation will be divided. Some will have doubts, others will believe that there are people who, for whatever reason, have faked this physical evidence to create this alleged lie. Above all, Amado should have tons of evidence in his files about Kawaki's karma. The proof that physical evidence is the key to the chaos to come is Sasuke's reaction to the headband he thought he gave Kawaki. And yet he knows that Boruto is the one who is wearing it right now, and also who it matches because his scar perfectly matches the damage on the headband. They all saw how that scratch was made before Ada changed reality, and yet Boruto is now the one who has this injury, even though everyone believes Kawaki is the one it happened to. And since it literally happened a few minutes ago, Sasuke knows something must have happened recently, which is why the sudden news that Boruto killed Naruto must be a lie, and he ultimately can't trust his own memories. And so they both left Konoha. It looks like this is the preparation for both Boruto and Sasuke to leave the village and become master and disciple. The perfect beginning of the time skip. It's also worth noting that for some reason Momoshiki is very angry that there are people who are not affected by this power. For some reason he didn't see this coming, and the fact that these people have already led others to believe it's a lie doesn't seem to sit well with him. He says that what happened cannot be undone. In fact, it looks like Momoshiki really wanted this to happen, which makes me think that maybe he has a plan for the future where he needs Boruto to be an outsider for some reason. But I will talk about that in more detail in the full review. Boruto just smiles and says that the blood of his father, mother and grandfather runs in his veins, a shinobi who has inherited the will of fire. This to me looks like the title of Boruto Part 2, like Naruto Shippuden. The name will be something like this, no longer Boruto Naruto Next Generation, but rather Boruto the Will of Fire, probably in Japanese, you know, like Shippuden. So what do you think of this new Boruto chapter and my chapter review? Let me know in the comments, and if you want to see more Boruto content, then subscribe to this channel with the notification bell activated for weekly Boruto content. Thank you for watching and see you next time, bye!